All right, all right.
How does it look?
It looks good, man. Welcome everyone to Real Talk. This is our first stream. Hopefully it goes well, and I'm glad that some of you joined. Danny, welcome to the stream, man.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me, bro.
Our topic is why do people fear change? But it looks like we're gonna fear the stream so much that we don't want to change. Oh man. All right.
No, it's all good.
Nah, it's gonna be fine. This
Yeah.
topic has been on my mind for a while, to be honest. Especially recently. I've been thinking about everything I'm doing and how everything is delayed. Some of you don't know. I'm currently in a film study, film production at York U. And it feels weird because I've already graduated with the cinema studies and I expected to start working, move on, the whole life that we all wish to have. Stable job, good money, getting married and all that. I mean, I'm almost 25 and none of this happened. Now, is it because I feared a lot of things that I tried to do and I just feared the potential of it? Or is it something else? I don't know. But this topic is important and I think it's good to have a talk with some of your closest friends about it. All right.
Yeah.
Danny, why do people fear change, man? Is it a survival instinct thing or is it comfort zones? Is it fear of the unknown? It could be a lot of things. All right. And I can bring biblical examples of people who feared their potential, but then God changed it around for them and they ended up being some of the greatest prophets.
But do you think people actually fear change? Like is it just like saying that people fear change? Because we might fear change, but the general public might not fear change, you know? Like most people might not fear it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like we might be in this lower class where no everyone is like people fear change, but then you don't actually like start shaking when it's like changing. You don't like oh I'm it's this is very scary, you know?
Because it's
And
gradual, you know. Like I can bring an example. All right, if I this is not about fearing change. You tell me, for example, you want to lose weight, you want to build muscle, all that. If I see you every single day, you've been consistent. You've been eating the diet you were supposed to eat. You did change after a long period of time, but I've seen you every single day, so it doesn't look drastic to me. Now, let's say you disappear for 5 months, you come back, all right, and you've done the change. I will be shocked. I will be surprised. It's like a big jump. My brain can't instantly process it, right? And I think it's the same thing with our potentials when we want to do something, ambitions, right? We think of the big picture. Like, for example, in my case, it was once a dream of mine to be a famous director. How do I get there?
Mm.
There are so many steps and so many projects and a lot of fails and ups and downs. That big picture is scary. The process is not if you take it step by step and just looking for this short distance in the period of time. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I do believe also a lot of it is comfort zone, man. It's the routines we've created, the sense of it gives us a sense of control, right? When you're
Yeah, the
doing
losing
something for
losing
so
the
long,
control.
it's so hard to get out of it out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not knowing what's gonna happen. It's like what if you fail, you know? It's like I want to change, I want to become this
But
better
doesn't
person, but
matter
then
though.
what if you fail?
Doesn't matter if we fail or not. That's the big questions. Why does it matter to a lot of us? We say it doesn't, right? On paper. But let's be real. Every time we try to do something, we get so scared and we just stop.
It's honestly, there's a big role if you tell people about it. Like if you start going around and telling people, guys, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna have abs by the summer, I'm gonna do this and that, and then it adds the pressure, it adds the peer pressure where what if you don't do it by the summer, and then everyone knows you for wanting to do that, and
Mm-hmm.
this is what people might fear. It's like the social disappointment. It's like you said you're gonna do all of this stuff, and then you never actually did it. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's also a big role
And do you
in
think if that repeats over and over, at some point you're gonna give up on even trying? Because you've already disappointed yourself, right?
if what repeats over, like if failing in
If
front of people
failing
repeats
reoccurs, let's say
repeats.
you've done a promise, you've told everyone about it, You tried, you failed. Okay, maybe you don't, maybe you still trust yourself at this point. You try again, you failed.
Yeah.
You still trust yourself, but now it's less. And then repeat over and over and over again. You reach a point where you just don't trust your word anymore. And honestly, what
So
does
you
a
lack
man have more
confidence?
than his word? Lack of confidence is a thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think people are just gonna stop. Like if that happened, at one point you're just gonna eventually stop telling people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sometimes it's good not to tell people your goals. No, it's better because we get the same dopamine. Um, we get like not the same, but a huge amount of dopamine when we tell other people about our goals to a point where it's almost like we achieved them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're telling all of those people I'm gonna make my 100 grand by in next year. And then all those people view you as like, wow, this guy is ambitious. This guy is he knows what he's doing in his life. Those people. So it gives you this sense of it's like, wow, people already view me as that. So you don't have the urge to actually go and do it. And then that kind of kills the whole goal. So maybe if we stop telling people, maybe I'm not saying this is the solution, but maybe we would actually change.
Have you gone through
Show the
something like this?
results.
Do you have an example of your own?
I mean, I definitely did tell people that I was gonna get abs in the summer, and I didn't.
I mean, bro, you're really close. Like, I mean, I train with you almost every single day, and I see like a huge potential, and you're quite close to it. I don't think you should let yourself down on that idea, right? Okay,
Yeah,
sure. Maybe you wanted it last year, so you can do it this year, no?
yeah, yeah. But even if I wanted, I wouldn't. I wouldn't say it on stream because it's gonna see. It's like,
The
oh my
dopamine
goodness,
hit.
see
You
it,
don't
and
want
then
that dopamine hit. I get you.
and
I
then
get you.
people are gonna be like, oh, he's gonna do it by this summer, and then I
Hmm.
never end up doing it.
All right. So then
And
a,
it's
a
like,
part of it is losing control too, right? Because now
yeah,
it's not really just you looking at it. Okay. Well, how about
yeah.
identity and self perception, man? I know sometimes change, you know,
Don't use big
it
words. What does all of
big
this mean?
words. Let me
Identity
simplify
and
for you. Like change challenges how you view yourself and how people see themselves, right? So if your identity is tied to a certain way of life, shifting from it can feel like losing a part of yourself.
you're saying you're like emotionally attached to yourself?
Emotionally attached to
Or
the way you live right now. There's this self-perception of yourself, and if that is
Mhm.
broken, even if it's good or bad, then your whole identity seems out of place. You feel you lose control of what your identity actually is. Do you think that's a true statement or a wrong statement? Am I going somewhere where I
It
shouldn't be
depends.
going?
It depends on the goal. I feel like it depends on the goal. Like, let me think of this. It's like your change, your definition of change is to become more successful in what you are. You're not
Hmm.
losing yourself. I like to code, I guess. And some changes that I want is I want to learn new things about coding. And when I learn this is a big change in my life. And when I
Hmm.
learn those new stuff, I'm not changing my life. So I'm not attached to the old ways. I just want the same thing but better.
Right.
The same thing going back to the abs example. It's like it's not like you're erasing your old self and then you're getting this new self with the abs. No, it's the same guy, same personality, same everything, just better.
Hmm. And how does your faith play any role in it? Like your faith in God or any?
Yes, of course, of
Yeah.
course.
How
Faith,
much do you
faith,
think it
faith.
plays?
God is the center of everything. Jesus is the center of everything. No matter what you do, it is gonna play a role. Whether it's staying the same, changing, whatever topic you bring, I think God is the center. God.
Mm. All right. Well, to me,
But
let me be very honest with you.
mm,
Sometimes the change is so big that I do doubt how much God can interfere to make it happen. And that is wrong. Let me be honest with that. That is very wrong. Biblically, it's wrong. And our faith shouldn't be that way. If you have faith in God, you have faith 100%. But those doubts do creep up sometimes. But let me say this when those doubts do creep up, I do pray. And repeated prayer has done something to me. Let me be very real with you. I haven't achieved half of the big things I said I wanted to do. All right, half of it.
Mm.
But then I forget the blessings and the good things that already happened. That when I do remember and I pray to God and say thank you for all of this, I get encouragement. I get encouragement to continue, and then thus I do better on whatever small steps I need to do right now. You get what I mean? So yeah, I do
So
believe.
you think?
So I think,
Say it again. I was gonna say you think God does play a role, but you doubt it.
yeah, he plays a big role, but I do get doubts every now and then, and that's something
What,
that should be changed.
but why do you doubt it?
Why do I doubt?
Like,
Dude, those are attacks from the devil. I'll be very honest with you. Those are attacks from the devil.
yeah.
Like
Uh,
there's this feeling that I get every now and then where no one cares. All right? No one cares. And
Yeah.
that no one cares sometimes reflects on me too, that I don't even care. And those are all
Yeah.
thoughts from the devil. When did Satan ever want anyone, follower of Christ, to succeed? Never. Period. Never.
Never.
Thank you.
What's up,
Hey,
guys?
JT, what's up, bro?
Hello,
How are you guys?
JT.
Bro, you came in
My
on the
bad for
right
coming
time,
in
man.
late. Yeah, man.
We're speaking about
My fault
faith,
for coming
man.
in late.
Oh, it's okay, bro.
Yeah?
We're speaking about faith and how much it plays a role in um, achieving your goals or
Yeah,
reaching your potential.
I I like the banner that you have in the background.
Oh, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, bro. Faith
Fire.
is like it's crucial, bro. It's crucial. If you don't have faith, you can't really achieve much, you know?
But why
Like
is
whether
that?
it's
Why is it? Why is it that way?
because faith and remember, okay, so like in our faith, in our religion, faith and works go hand in hand, right? So if you don't have the faith, then you're not gonna do the work that's required for you to achieve what you want to achieve, right?
Mhm. Okay,
But
then explain to me
you
why there's
you
so many
see,
rich people. Sorry, Danny. Why are
that's
there
what I was
so
gonna
many
say.
rich people that are rich, but they're completely satanic? They're opposed to God 100%.
I
How are
wouldn't
they so
call those rich
successful?
people. I wouldn't call those rich people. They're rich materialistically, but our life here is temporary, and they're poor in anything else. They're satanic because the devil can give you ownership over so many things in the material world and tempt you with so many things in the material world. However, he knows that spiritually you will be lacking, and these people do know that, and it's like essentially it's the sacrifice that they're gonna make in order to like live a materialistic life that's gonna lead them to money and fame and all of these like really really good sounding things, but at the end of the day, after all of this, we all we all die the same death, right?
Yeah,
Right? And then the afterlife is where it's different, where the tables flip.
that's true.
I
Jana, I
mean,
see you in the
everyone
chat.
wants
We have
like
someone in the chat saying that's going to interfere. That does not mean there isn't faith. There is. That's why we are encouraged in the Bible to continuously read God's word. That's why when doubt creeps in, we can use God's word as a shield. 100%. I agree.
Yep. Yep. For sure. I mean, it's at the end of the day, like what's more powerful than God? Like
I'll give $1,000 right now. Quote me on this. If anyone can prove something is greater than God, right now, let me go broke. I don't care. All right. So here's my issue though. I've had this conversation with someone before at university. Okay, at York. They were like jokingly. I won't say they were serious about it. Jokingly, they said, "Oh well, we can dabble between both sides." Like I'll use Satan's ways to get rich and get all the power I need to get, but then I'll backstab him and then turn to the good side because I've been there all along. I was just playing, kind of spy on the enemy's territory. I told him, "Come
drop
on, let's
names.
be real.
Who are those?
Who are those?
Who are
I'm not
those
saying
people,
names.
bro?
I'm not saying names." But yeah, and I think it's a terribly wrong idea, even as a joke, because that joke, if repeated a bunch of times, it could subconsciously become a reality to someone, right? And then you slowly fall into the ways of the world. And I think that's a very easy thing to fall into because the pressures out there online, social media, the way everyone acts, this peer pressure is strong, man. It's strong. And then you start questioning yourself, am I doing something wrong that I'm not succeeding? Should I just quit it? Should I just do what they're doing? Should I just follow the hype trains and all that? I think it's a wrong idea. I think people should stay away from it, even jokingly. But I will play devil's advocate and say, why not? Why not? We can trick the devil. Why not? We'll use whatever we can use out of him and then switch sides. What do you think?
Dan, you want to go ahead?
I don't think we can do that. Like the second you start playing with the devil, it's like you kind of lose. Like you can't just play and then decide not to play anymore. It's like you're stuck. So
Yeah.
if you can, then good for you. But the second even if you think about it, then you're already lost. That's what I think about it.
Yeah.
I don't
There's a
know.
story that I've heard. I think many people have heard this story before. So there's this guy who goes into like this place, and there's the side of God, and there's the side of the devil, and these two sides are split by a fence. Okay, and they say that if you choose the side of God, you might not be like the richest person materialistically. You might not have the most money in the world, but you'll have eternal life. Like you'll live a decent life. You'll be happy, have peace somewhat, but then you'll have an eternal life of like love and joy and everything, like everything good that you dream of. The side of the devil, you'll have the best life materialistically. Cars, houses, money, women, everything you want, right? All of that. So this guy, thinking he's smart, he goes and he's like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna go sit on this fence, and I'm gonna get a little bit from here and a little bit from here. And when I'm happy with what I get from the devil's side, then I'll jump onto God's side. He goes and he sits on this fence. And then the devil comes and he grabs him and he takes him with him. And then the guy's like, wait a second, I never chose your side. Why are you taking me? And the devil goes, the fence belongs to me. So this is what happens when you sit on the fence. You sit on the
Yeah.
fence and you end up losing because you can't really like being lukewarm, right? Being a lukewarm Christian, it's gonna end up causing you to stumble a lot. um you know it's gonna be a big problem for you to be in the middle, where like you don't have a lot of faith, but then you also want the good sides of the faith, where you want the good sides but you don't want to do the work to get there. So these things are like it's a big problem that I see happening in our society in general, to be honest.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's a
Yeah.
problem that we can only tackle it by staying close to the word and praying daily. I think
I like the
that's
story. I'm gonna start using it.
yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful example.
Also, the devil, sorry to
Go ahead.
just one more thing. The devil is called the greatest deceiver. So if you're going to try to trick the devil, like who are you really trying to trick?
Right, and we have Simon in the
Right?
chat saying Satan is called the king, ruler, and god of this world, all across the Bible. So I mean, let's be real. He's running the show on Earth. So we just gotta hold our shield, man,
Yeah.
up and high. All right, Johnny, you missed the first part. I just want to get your opinion or a story of your own. Have you ever feared change, man? Has it been a struggle for you? Is there something you're fearing right now? Is there something huge you want to do that's something that's stopping you? What do you think of the topic in general?
Yo, honestly, like change is a really big topic. Like it's very vague to decide what change really is. But I think in my life overall, change has been like more of a gradual thing than like an instant thing. There are a few cases where like it was instant and I had to adapt, but overall, like I can't compare my life between now and like 2 months ago because not much really changed. But I can compare my life between now and like 3 years ago, let's say 2 years ago, because over those 2 years there was a lot of changes. Where if you take this point and 2 years ago, you can see a huge difference in the person that I am and in the people around me in general.
Right.
Change is, I don't want to use the word scary because it's inevitable. Like you can't really run away from it. Like you're gonna have to change some things in your life as you grow older. But it's something that is definitely a big factor of, let's say, pressure. So how you get a lot of pressure on you when change is happening. You have a lot of pressure on you to perform, to do what's right and to do what's right for you and for those around you. You know?
Right. So
And
in
it's
that
not
way,
always like a clear picture.
so in that way, you're doing a mind shift where it's no longer just about you; it's about the people you want to do it for too, right? Is that
Oh
what
yeah.
you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. It's about the people around you, the people in your future, and the people that you're and you yourself. And the problem is that sometimes those actions, they don't always align all together. Like they might contradict each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, then, what if the people you're doing it for don't really believe in you? Then what? Do you think that's a big hurdle, or at this point it shouldn't matter?
You surround yourself with people who do believe in you,
Okay.
and then eventually those people who didn't believe in you, if they see that you're on the right path and that you're on the you're doing well for yourself, you know, they'll come back, right? And that's
Right.
if you want them to come back.
Right. Okay. Well,
Yep.
so here's what I'm gonna say: have a mind shift. There has to be a mindset shift. Honestly, seeing change as an opportunity is key. It shouldn't be a threat to anyone. Yes, it's scary, 100%. I mean, when was change ever a pleasing journey? Never. There's always hardship. There's always a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, like they all say, right? And taking the small steps is important. Easing your way into a change instead of just forcing drastic shifts is also key. And man, let it take
I
as
think you're
long as
being
it needs to take. It's fine as long
I
as
think you're being too harsh about it. It's like you're like, oh, it takes blood, sweat, and tears. It takes all of this. It's like, no, just, bro, just enjoy the journey. Like, yes, I agree. Sometimes it's hard, but just have fun. You know, the
yeah, but
journey is more important
sometimes
than
it's very
the
hard to have
destination.
fun. Let's be real. Some goals are just too hard to
Sometimes,
achieve that the journey isn't really that fun because you're always confronted with doubts, obstacles, things not going your way. It is that harsh sometimes, and there's no way around it. Yeah, I would love to enjoy the journey. I'll be honest, I enjoy the gym journey, but it's been delayed over and over
yeah.
again. I wished that I was done and I reached my goal a year ago. A year. I'm a year late and not even close to reaching my potential. So, did I do the work? Yes, I did it. Did I mess up? Yes, I messed up plenty. Am I going to give up? No, I won't. Do I know it's not going to get any easier? Yes, I do know that. It's just going to be a fight over and over again. But it is fun, like you
Can
said.
I ask you this?
What?
The you set plenty of goals for yourself, right?
Yeah.
The the one that you've achieved, are they the one that you enjoyed the most, or you enjoyed the least, or you can't really tell? It's just random. Like,
It
do you
feels
the
random.
one that you
It
achieved?
feels very random. I'll be honest with you. It's probably
Exactly.
because I was so my mind was somewhere else. I was looking at the big picture that the things I was doing in the moment, once they were done, I didn't notice it. Just like it happened. I didn't notice it. It just happened. You know what I mean? I'm looking
Like
so
what?
far ahead, like graduating from cinema studies last year, right?
Mm.
I was going through the process, but my mind wasn't about like getting done with that degree and graduating. No, my mind was somewhere else, man. How am I gonna get like, what am I gonna do in the future? What is the next step after I graduate? Am I gonna ever be a director? Am I gonna ever be an actor? Am I gonna ever become a bodybuilder? There's a lot of like big pictures at play that when I was doing something in the moment, I was just getting it out of the way, completing it in hopes that I can just start the next thing, right? So my mind was always there. So yeah, it does feel random. Whatever I achieved right now, it feels random. It isn't. It was obviously by choice. I decided to enter that degree, right? I decided to study. I decided to do this, this, and that. But my mind was somewhere else completely. And let me be real. Once I finished and completed those small tasks, I didn't even believe it. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's done.
Did you enjoy the journey?
Did I enjoy the journey? It was
Yeah.
double answer. Yes, a lot of it was fun. No, some things were super disappointing and there was no way around it. But but I cannot express how much of a blessing the past couple of years were. Even though they seem like I didn't progress that much, it was such a blessing. I've gone through so many character changes and I'm still going through a character change right now. I don't think I'll ever stop. I think we're all of us, I think, are going to keep
Of
growing
course. Of course.
day by day, year by year, and there's going to be big changes at some point, unless we give in to temptation and then choose the other way around and the devil's side, which I hope none of us do.
I
But
want to
it's
ask
been
you
a
a
blessing.
question.
Go ahead.
I want to ask you a question. When we're talking about change, and you're saying it takes blood, sweat, and tears, and it's scary and all of that,
Mhm.
right? First of all, what are you changing to, from, and to? What are you changing from, and what are you changing to?
What am I changing from? What am I changing to? Great question.
From worse to better.
Okay, so you're trying to improve, right?
Of course.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
change is
So,
always.
all right. So it's always the goal is always to improve. Okay.
Right.
Now, what's your intention behind improving? Why do you want to improve?
Right. Right. And that's, let's
So,
say that's the core for the entire reason why we have ambitions and we want to change in the first place, right?
okay.
Okay.
So if your intentions are vain and, like worldly and materialistic, where like, oh, I want to change this in order to get that from the world,
Hmm.
right? Like I want to like, find a good job so I can get like a really nice car and like, get a really nice house and have a really like have a lot of girls talking to me and stuff like that, Like, okay, but what's like is that really a good intention? Is that really a good reason to do what you're doing? Or here's what I believe. I think that you should always have your faith in the center of it. You should always have Christ in the center of your journey, and he will be the one that's going to be giving you the strength, because remember, he won't put you through anything that you are not able to bear, right?
Right.
And he will be, when you're walking with him again, he's the like God is the most powerful. So what do you have to be scared of? Not scary. It's stressful, for sure. It's stressful. It's, you should be cautious, you should know how to take risks. It's not scary though. Like, when you've got God on your side, why be scared? And when your intentions are clear and they're good intentions, why be like, what's there to fear?
All right.
You know?
I truly respect this mindset you have and I do agree with it. I do want to say though, when you say what is there to be afraid of, I will say there are plenty of reasons for a lot of us.
Okay.
It's important to try and build ourselves up to a point where it doesn't matter if there's something scary to us, where we know we'll be fine no matter what because the Lord is with us, right?
That's
But
exactly what I mean.
does that okay, so that's what you mean. Okay, great. So here's
Yeah.
my, let's go back a few points. You said if it's for vain, then it shouldn't really matter. Can you mix ambitions that are under the category of vain and mix it with a faithful intention as well? Let me give an example. I know people, and I know I'm going through that phase too, a lot of times, on and off with it, where you want to get so successful, you want to get so beautiful as well, right? You want to train, you want to get better, your image needs to improve and all that. And then you want to utilize all of that and all the money and all the good stuff that you end up getting from it to do something good with it. Do you think it's a risky path to take? Do you think it's possible, it's doable? Is it something we should all avoid? Stay away from vanity, no matter how good the intentions are? What do you think?
No, 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 no. Money is what you call an amplifier. So who are you? Like, what are you? What are your daily habits? What are the things you do? Do you drink a lot? Do you smoke a lot? Do you do a lot of bad things? Do you go to the gym a lot? Do you educate yourself? What are these things? Money is a tool that is gonna take that you and amplify it and make you bigger because you'll have more resources to do what you want to do and to be yourself more, right? So money isn't bad. It's the way you use it, right?
Mhm.
Like it's not inherently sinful to have money, you know?
Just like
It's the
everything.
way.
Everything
Yeah,
is like that.
exactly. Nothing is inherently like bad. It's just
Like a
the
knife.
way that you use it.
A knife is never
Yeah.
bad until you like actually pick it up and murder someone. Very
Yeah.
harsh
You
example,
can
but
use
like, yeah.
you can use a knife to cut an apple or you can use a knife to kill someone, you know, like
Mm.
Fair,
right?
fair.
So yeah.
We have
So at the
Simon.
end of the day it's a tool.
Simon said, "While change is difficult, God makes it bearable. Come to me." That he's quoting a Bible verse. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. That's Matthew 11:28-30. Beautiful example. Thank you, Simon. And yeah, it's a very accurate Bible verse for the topic we're in right now. I do want to say something though, that fear is not necessarily a bad thing. It could be one of the best things that could happen to you. Let me
You can't
continue.
generalize. I
Let me
don't
let me
think you can
continue because
generalize
sometimes
though.
fear protects you from something, right? Not necessarily holds you back. There are good fears and there are bad fears. But then the question is, how do you differentiate from both of them?
I don't think you can. I think because the people before we were when we were all cavemen, when we didn't have houses, when we used to be in the comfort zone, we no one wanted to hunt. Everyone wanted to just live in the cave, just stay there. And then when they discovered the outside world, they started going out, and then people are started dying. They started discovering more dangerous things, but it led to the evolution on where we are right now. And this is the same thing with like technology. This is the same thing with whatever. Like going to the space, going to the moon. It's very scary. You don't know if it's a good thing or not. It might be like I'm a big believer that going out of Earth could be the next step to evolution. Not Mars, not the Elon Musk stuff, not all of this stuff, but we're very like yes, the Earth has plenty of things, but it's still restricted in some way. And there's a lot of things that we need to use from the outside. It's like you have so much trash that we're producing. I'm not saying throw it in space, but you can find a solution outside where we stay here. And this is a big change. People might say like, "Oh, we don't like that. This is like environmental. This is like moral issues. This is blah blah blah." But you don't know if change is good or not. If change is bad or not.
So then what's the verdict?
I don't
Just
think
stay prepared no matter
I don't, I don't
what.
think I don't think you can know. I think you just go for it and whatever happen. There's definitely morals, but
Okay.
like what if yeah, that's it.
No, I do agree with you. I do think
Johnny looks like he's not agreeing with me.
he's not. The evolution part really kicked in. He's like, oh well, hold up, I got a lot to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Okay, go for it, Johnny.
No, I'm just gonna talk about fear. You're saying fear is the best thing possible. Well, like what is fear, right? So like you've got fear and then you've got doubt where you're so afraid that you start thinking that like, oh, this isn't it. This isn't working. You know? Like I like the example that Danny gave of like people and like the early humans and how they learned to survive, right? We do have this inherent like instinct in our biology and in our bodies where it's like instinctual where if there's something that's remotely scary to us we tend to like back away and you know but even as children you notice like although it's been engraved in us for so long even as children, like you don't know the stove is hot until you touch it, right?
All right.
So until then, like we're so stubborn that we're creatures that learn through experience, and that's how fear is built up. Like I saw this video of like literally babies who have not experienced the thing, and they're sitting there, and these people they just like put snakes around them, like alive snakes, big snakes, right? And the parents are watching like from the side. The parents are going insane, like they're going mental, you know? And the baby's just chilling there, not crying. He's just smiling. He's just like living his life, you know? So it's like that goes to show you where fear comes from. Like it's not something that is like engraved in us, but I would say it's something that's uh as we
We
grow up,
learn.
we learn. Yeah, it's definitely something that's learned.
Right, right. I mean, we have the
Unfortunately,
example of Adam and Eve, right? They never feared any animal around them. They never feared anything. They didn't know
I mean
anything until they ate.
that's
Until they
different though.
ate.
No, but that's different though, because Adam and Eve, they were in a place where animals didn't even kill,
Okay,
right?
sure. But let's be real. Like they didn't know a lot of things, and the moment they knew what's good and evil, that's when everything turned on them. Like the whole perspective changed. So all I'm saying is, yes, even though it's not inherited, but once we know and we live through this world that
You
we're living
mean
in, our opinion changes a lot based on those like knowledge that we pick up from, let's say, our family or the people around us or from social media. We pick up fears
Yeah.
left and right, and we don't even recognize it, right?
Yeah.
what do you mean Adam and Eve didn't know a lot of things like before they ate the apple?
Before they ate the apple. But yeah, that I
Because
guess that in
the
that
apple was
example it is a
from
bit different. But yeah,
the apple is from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, but I don't think evil existed in their minds until
No.
they took from that apple.
that's right.
They ate the fruit, right?
I do want to bring an example from the Bible for fearing change. I think Moses' story is a great example. You know, Moses didn't know if he was capable of obeying the Lord and then carrying out this incredible story of his, right? He doubted himself and he doubted his capability with the Lord. But at some point, he gave in, he continued, he trusted God, and then he became one of the greatest prophets ever. So what I'm gonna conclude with that is, yes, fears exist, and yes, a lot of it is fear of failure, or its comfort zone and familiarity, or loss of control, maybe fear of the unknown. But no matter how much there's like how much social pressure, self pressure, or judgment around us, no matter how hard the obstacles are, the only way to move forward and being happy with the result is to take the necessary steps, is to take those hard decisions in hopes that you will finally achieve what you've been looking for. And if that thing that you're looking to achieve is something that enhances your faith, it's something with the intentions to glorify God at the end, I think there's no way you're going to fail. I think God is going to bless you, and He will be your strength in every single hardship you might face.
Yep. I just want to add as well. I'm gonna add another Bible verse. This is from Paul, who was like a saint who had the craziest change, like 180. He was persecuting Christians, he was killing Christians, and then he became one of the the most Christian men in history, right? And this is from his letter to the Philippians. It says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." So, like, we can yap all we want about change, and we can talk about fear and all of these things, but then at the end of the day, like, you know, like it's not really very important as a thing for us to like be so stressed about it, because we can just like we can do our part and leave the rest to God, and what's meant to happen will happen.
Amen. Danny,
Yeah.
any thoughts?
Beautiful words. Very well said.
All right, gentlemen, this was a
Very nice,
pleasure.
yeah.
I think it was a good
Well,
talk.
are we wrapping things
I
up?
mean, do you want to
That's it?
continue? We can keep going. There's a
I
lot
can
to
keep
say.
going
It's up
if
to you.
you
I
want.
I do want to
Yeah,
check the chat
it's
though,
up to
because
you.
I know a lot of them have been active and I haven't been getting back to them. Simon, thank you for the consistency. And Janelle, Nagar, I do agree. To be more Christ-like is definitely important. And that's a good topic, to be honest. What does it mean to be Christ-like?
Mm.
We can dive deep into that one. What else did we miss?
That one needs a whole podcast on its
That one
own,
needs
you know.
10 days, bro, to talk about. I think it doesn't end, bro. It's something you can talk about every single day.
For sure. For
But
sure.
yeah, it is a struggle. We're not called to be Christians because we are called to be. We're not going to be perfect the moment we say we're Christians. No, we're not. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be an uphill battle. A lot of ups and downs too. Do not expect to be perfect the moment you decide to read the Bible. Do not expect to be perfect the moment you start praying. That is not going to happen. What's going to happen is you will realize how weak you are without the Lord, and that your only strength and your only way to survive this earth is to rely and have faith in God. I'm telling you,
I
as
would
someone
argue
who
there's
messed
no
up
such thing as a
plenty
good
and
person.
is still messing up somehow with those consistent prayers and Bible readings. But small improvements do matter. And then I do know that the Lord will not let my efforts to get close to Him go in vain. He'll always be there with open arms welcoming me. And for that, I'm forever thankful. Fear change. I did have this point where I thought of once is cognitive bias. So the brain prefers what's familiar rather than have its different situation, right? It's a preference thing. Something's familiar, we stay there. So we overvalue it, and then we take that situation as is, and that's it. That's where we're at. We're great. That's our cognitive bias. I don't know how good of a point that is, but I like to play devil's advocate a lot on whatever I'm thinking. Past trauma could be a reason. Negative experiences could be a reason. So past trauma, negative experiences could cause someone to associate all change with pain. And so they avoid it altogether. It's like a defensive mechanism, right? They try to change once. They tried something new once. They got hurt. Rinse and repeat. And at some point, that's it. Trauma, right? Defense mechanism. I don't want to go through this again, right? Why would I? It's been painful once. It's going to be painful again. Why bother?
You know, things like this, as controversial as this may be, I would put the blame on the person.
Okay.
Because that is like, if they're getting hurt every time they try to change something, that is an insane person. Because this person is trying to do the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different result. Right?
It's like what Einstein said. It's like you put the same chemical formulas, it's gonna give you the same outcome. Like if you don't
Exactly.
change anything, nothing's gonna change.
Yeah. So they might think they're changing things, but in reality they're just like reverting back to the old habits they had, which are giving them the same results of this traumatic experience, right?
Right. Right.
So I would put the blame on the person, but again, remember that this might not be something in the conscience, right? This is definitely something in the subconscious where they just like naturally revert back to their comfort zone, thinking that it's changed, tricking themselves into thinking that it's changed.
Right. And so you're saying it's 100% their fault, and this is something that someone needs to break, right?
No. It's
عليك
not their fault.
100%, bro.
It's
Thank you,
not their
everyone.
fault. No, I'm not saying it's 100% their fault. It could be the fault of their environment. It could be their fault. It could be their fault because it is their decision. But it could literally be like a disease, like something that they're not in control of. And the only way to fix something like that is literally just through Christ, because like diseases are demons, and the only way to get rid of them is through prayer and fasting.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Balancing wisdom and action.
I was gonna mention COVID-19, but then I was like, damn,
Nah,
this could be like a very bad
very
topic to
controversial.
open.
Very
No,
controversial.
Hey, it's
okay, yeah, I
okay. We
guess
can enter
controversial, but
controversial territory. Who cares, man?
I wasn't
Talk
gonna.
about it.
We
Talk
can
about it.
here. Look, it's real
No,
talk,
no,
right?
no.
So we can
It's
be
not
as
about.
real
It's
as
not
we
about.
can.
It's just for the
It's not about.
channel's sake, you know.
Watch them shut down the channel because we just mentioned the
We
name.
just exposed the entire
Like,
industry and drug industry and all the fake. No.
what?
We should stop. We should stop here. All right. So I think it's good to summarize every key point. I'm gonna definitely do that later and then maybe make a post on it. It was a good discussion. Is there anything
Yeah.
else we want to add or adjust? Is there something you changed your mind of by this conversation? I mean, I'll be honest. I kind of agreed with every point you guys said. It's just for the sake of conversation. I had to oppose every now and then, but I will say you did open my mind about one thing, which is it can potentially be someone's fault, right? So rinse and repeat the same thing over and over again, and then how are you expecting a different outcome? It's
Yeah.
something that at some point I did forget, and because I get so hung up with what I'm doing, right? I get so in zone that I
Yeah.
forget to check if I'm breaking trends or not. And I think it is good to break trends every now and then because who knows, it could give you a much better outcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for that point. The chat has been great, by the way. Tamer is here. We like controversy. Tamer, what are you trying to? You're trying to light the fire in this channel, man. We can go there honestly, but let's hold off until we get a few extra viewers at some point, and then break the internet with controversy.
Oh yeah.
Yes, right. Oh, Philippines, a bunch of Bible verses. You guys have been great, honestly. Thank you so much. I did not expect to have 13 viewers, and it was consistent through the entire thing. So thank you so much for being here. I mean, it's our first ever live stream. I did not expect it to go well, but here we are, right?
Fire, bro.
It's great.
Sick.
All right, so
I'm glad.
until next talk, I guess, and we have a lot of good topics. I have topics prepared for the entire year, so there's a lot to dive deep into, and hopefully I can have you guys as regular
Spill
guests.
through.
Spill
Give us a
through.
sneak peek
You
on
want a
some
bit
the
of
topics.
teasers? You want a bit of
Spoilers?
spoilers? Okay,
Teasers.
sneak peek. Let's open the document real
Give us-
quick. Okay, so at some point we will talk. What does true success look like? Is depression the root of all laziness? Is happiness a choice? And what defines a good friend? I think those are very interesting topics. I won't say all of them, but I will go to the end. I have some, like one that I'm really excited to talk about. What would you do with 1 extra hour if it was granted to you by the time you're dying? 1 extra hour. You're dying. That's it. You know you have that 1 extra hour. What would you do in that 1
sleep.
hour?
Straight up
Go,
sleep.
go to
bro.
sleep, right? just end it. Yeah, that's a topic for another time.
Sleep
I'm excited for that
deprived
one.
right
Oh, brother, don't
Yeah.
tell me about it. Tomorrow, leg day. Those of you who don't know, we're a bunch of gym bros that are addicted to lifting weights. So yeah, that's our program every day. All right. I guess this is the end, right? Thank you so much for the 13 viewers. Fire topics. Emil, thank you so much, man. Anna Sophia, thank you for being here. Professional Pro, thank you for being here. Make Mess. I don't know your guys' names, but I wish you guys could reach out to me on Instagram. That would be amazing. Give me feedback, whatever you think can be improved. Like feedback is important. You can be as critical as you can be. I want this to succeed. I want this to be good. I want this to look good as well. So any opinion, any criticism is welcomed, and I will look through it. Excited.
So tell us and the viewers, like me and the viewers, what are you gonna do the streaming for? What are you gonna stream? Are you gonna stream games? Are you gonna stream
for
just
tomorrow,
talks? Just in general, not
in
like
general,
tomorrow.
Real talk is going to
you
be
have
the
a schedule?
same like today. There is a schedule. Sundays and Mondays, guys, we're going to be live. Thank you. Look at that. My friends are training me to do this. All right. So Sundays and Mondays, we're going to be live. Sunday is going to be real talk, where we just dive into topics and see each other's opinions, engage with you guys in the comments. Lean is here too. Hi, Lean. And then Mondays, same time, 8:30, I will do anything, and anything can happen. But for tomorrow specifically, I will be working on a short film. There's something due in my film production course, and I do want to work on it live. Come up with ideas, see how I'm gonna make the script. What kind of shots am I gonna take? Where is the story gonna end? So we'll see what I'm gonna cook tomorrow. But other days it could be just Q&As. You guys come in, ask me questions, I can answer. It could be an extra podcast day where I think it would be a good idea to dive into another topic that follows up from Sunday. Or it could just simply be a crazy game that you guys really want me to try, because I have a history with games and I do love them, especially the story mode ones. A good story,
Oh,
I don't care
Marvel,
how it is. What?
Marvel Rivals.
There's no story in that, man.
Yeah,
There's no
sorry.
story. No, we need a good story. If there's a good story you think is worth playing, let me know, and then I'll definitely try it out. But yeah, that's how it's gonna be. Sundays and Mondays, real talk, and then off the grid with Khalil.
Fire.
Fire.
So like three times a week?
Two
Or
times a week.
flexible,
2 times a week
times?
is enough. Yes, and then hopefully in the
Alright,
future we
awesome.
can extend that for more days. All right, thank you everyone for being here, guys. Thank you for being a part of this first live stream. Hopefully you guys can come on more often. That would be great if every live stream.
Who's
can
your
land
next
better.
guest?
My next guest, we'll save it for Instagram. I'll announce it.
Oh, okay.
All right. Awesome. Thank you
Alright,
guys.
Thank you for having us.
You're
Hey.
my pleasure, man. My pleasure. All right,
It was
guys.
really good.
Yes, it
I'm
was.
glad we had this conversation. It was
was.
good.
Till next time, everyone. Thank you for attending. Bye bye.
Thank you guys.